No!
Goodnight Mommy, or as the original title translates, I See, I See, was directed by the same directors who did The Lodge, which came out earlier this year. It was Austria's entry for the Academy Award, but wasn't nominated. I mean, it should be pretty obvious why once you watch this thing. It follows two twins whose mother just got back from some sort of facial surgery. Her entire head is covered in bandages, and as she starts acting strange around the house, the twins start to suspect that underneath those bandages, she might not actually be their mother. The closest film I can draw resemblance from, at least the ones that I've seen, is Let the Right One In. Even though the two of them have very different styles and themes, what I really love about both of these movies is that they are what I call it the quiet movies. Despite their genres, the filmmakers chose to take a more subtle and grounded approach. They both incorporate a lot of silence, the editing lingers on characters a lot more, and there's barely any music. Because they understand the things that scare us the most isn't a sound effect, rather is something that feels real, people breaking apart, losing control, or whatever the concept may be. The performances are all very good, the kids and the mother. The color palette is predominantly colder. There are a lot of blues and whites. There are a lot of these horizontal lines and patterns with the cinematography throughout the film, pulling the background closer to the subject. So even though they're in a big house, it feels a lot more claustrophobic and flat. It evokes an unpleasant feeling in the audience. Even though you can say you saw the ending miles away, and I personally did as well, it's not until the very end of this thing that I realize what the story is actually about. I guess the filmmakers didn't quite make the extra effort of hiding the mystery. Rather, it's more about what information you gain after it is discovered, what different perspective is presented to the table after everything is said and done. And I really dug that ending, actually. Certainly much better than The Lodge. I guess there are many things in there that can easily be passed as red herrings. There's a storyline about a cat, the church, and a Red Cross sequence. And narratively, I can see that, but there's got to be something deeper than that. Whether the filmmakers are reaching for a biblical subtext with these elements, I think it's everyone's best guess. However, even though the filmmakers has many of these things, the writers still managed to round up pretty much everything. If there is a setup to something, there is a punchline that comes afterwards, so that part is solid. I like what they were doing with this one, especially how the theme hit you right after the final shot of this thing. The build up to the third act is a very uncomfortable burn, even though the last leg of this thing felt a little bit out of the blue. Goodnight Mommy as a whole, it's pretty good. I'm thinking a decent to strong B on this one.